since I got to get my car worked on, I'm gonna go in a dealership here and see if anybody notices. Hello? Sorry?
Did you put your mask up?
My mask, it's up.
You have to put it over your nose.
Sir, it's over my nose.
Oh, wow, that is too cool.
You like that? Yeah, this is how we roll.
That was genius. That was genius.
What's going on, Doug? How you doing?
Doing okay, man. How about you?
Sipping this pale ale. Rick's old is an okay guy. Hey!
Hey!
How do we do that?
I don't know. Magic.
Mm-hmm. The North is not known for pale ales, are they?
Nope.
Okay. The North is a brewery near Doug's house that we visited my last pre-COVID trip. They specialize in funky stouts, big stouts, big black beers. Right, Doug? Say more.
Yeah, it's true. They have a whole line of stouts. They do all sorts of variants of the stouts. That's kind of their wheelhouse. They have been venturing a little bit more out into the pale ale IPA world. So,
this is a hoppy one, man. What do you think of it?
I don't know. I'm going to taste it now.
Ooh, I've been sipping on this since we saw the guy with the mask that didn't look like a mask, but it was a mask.
It's a little hoppy, but it's really crisp. Like, I like how that is. It should be.
Do you have any little things in the bottom there?
Yep.
Okay.
See? Now you can't see her as well because I have the writ for her pleasure glass. So.
I can see them well here.
So what do you think? What do you think of it? I like it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what the hell's on the bottom of the glass. But if I didn't see that, yeah. I wouldn't suspect this is from the North, because again, when I was there, the profile was big black beers, crazy shit in them, really good stuff though, but not mainstream stuff, not stuff you would see anywhere. But I liked it. Yeah, man, I'm a fan. This is I would say, like, juicy pale ale.
Yeah,
not too hoppy, right?
No, you get the hops taste, but it's not like a fucking sledgehammer. But like I said, I really like just how crisp it is. This would be really good when it's really hot out. This would go down really well when it's hot out. Like, whoosh.
It's going down pretty well now, right? So, our guest tonight is Jeff. Everybody knows him. Or if you watch the stream, you know Jeff. We had somebody backed out on us at the last minute, so Jeff jumped in. It's going to be fun. This weekend is Valentine's Day weekend, so I kind of want to talk to Jeff about. So let me explain myself. I don't care about Valentine's Day. It's not even a thing in this house. In fact, even if I mention it in this house, it will bring more astronation and it would bring, like, yay. So Valentine's Day is not a thing, but I am not everybody and everybody is not me. So Valentine's Day is a clear thing in this country. And actually, Doug, considering where we've been in recent times, the world needs some more love. So, right. So we're going to ask Jeff about, or at least I'm going to ask Jeff about, I'm excited to talk to him about making a meal for a special someone, or because again, we're still in the, as we are live here, you shouldn't be gathering with people, a lot of people, And Valentine's Day is not a gathering day kind of event. You know what I mean? It's not a day that we all get together. It's really more of a day for you and your lady or you and your homie or whatever you're doing. And so it's usually an intimate, holiday anyway. So we're going to ask Jeff about making things like one-on-one and, making that special thing. You go through this, Doug, where you try to make a special meal for your wife.
Mm-hmm.
And you only have to make a little, sometimes, the kids are around, but sometimes it's just you and Jill, and you just have to make you just have to bang like one meal, man.
Mm-hmm.
A damn entree, a side, and a veggie. You got to nail it. You got to so there's a lot of pressure.
The pressure. Hey, before we bring Jeff on, I think Daniel Fisher made a point on our thing about maybe it's the Bear Rouge that's making it taste as it is, or is giving you the stuff on the bottom.
And the top,
Barber Rouge.
Bar.
Yeah, it's right on the can there.
Okay.
I know it's good.
No, it's good. It's boom. So I love my girl because she doesn't believe in Valentine's Day. Pun intended.
That's Manny.
Who?
That's Manny.
Sounds like Manny.
Yeah.
All right. Without further ado, we're going to bring on Jeff. Doug, you go first. Or I'll go first. Hi, Jeff.
Hi. Good to see you both.
And Doug.
Hello. Bring out my inner Mrs. Doubtfire there.
I was like, you totally were channeling Robin Williams there. Absolutely.
What's going on?
100%. Those are the vibes. Those are the vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey, I would say what's going on since we've last talked to you, but so much is going on. So I'm just going to let Doug ask a much easier question.
Oh, okay. Welcome to pre-production that we don't have. So, Jeff. Do you guys ever see that?
I would like to the Rocky theme.
So, obviously, since the last time we've talked, we have had under new management, as it were, for the United States.
I was like, it's negative 45 all of a sudden. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. I didn't know that.
45.
Negative 45.
Okay.
Side note, I have a setting on my microwave, and I will never put 45 seconds on it. I always put 44.
That's awesome.
Because I'm that petty.
You're that petty. I have a problem with saying the word Trump. I mean, even as a word, it feels blasphemous to say. Like if I go out of my way to not use that word.
Do you do the TR space? People are doing that.
No, I won't treat it like that.
TRR, and I'm like, what is that? Oh, okay.
I got you. I won't treat it like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I still say dump, but
I call him number 3, but now he could be number 3 and number 4.
Yeah,
he could be number 2 too.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
when
you
really go ahead.
No, I was gonna say when
you go.
Yeah, it was a one-liner, and you can have it. It was this when I call him dump when when his people go smearing feces on walls. So I mean, I think it's kind of appropriate kind of thing. Go on, Jeff.
It was just right before we went. We went live. My husband was showing me a TikTok of a video that said, "Show me a classic Disney movie that's very racist, or show me something in a Disney movie that's classic and racist." And it's a scene from Home Alone where young Macaulay Culkin
Yes.
and it pans in onto Donald Trump and says, "Yep, there it is." Anyway, let's see.
Real quick, let's look at this.
To his bedroom to say goodnight, and he was crying because of the abuse that he was enduring in this school system.
Okay, let me rewind quick because I don't know if you heard it at first. It ends really. It's a really quick clip.
Went to his bedroom to say goodnight, and he was crying because of the abuse that he was enduring in this school system.
Then why did you stay in Mexico?
Oh my God. That guy should have gotten straight
Look,
face.
did you see the reaction though? Like, I love the reaction. That's
To his bedroom
Just everybody's
to
like,
say goodnight, and he was crying because of the abuse that he was enduring in this school system.
Then why did you stay in Mexico?
even the old white lady.
look at the guys like, what? I'm out in the room full of racists.
What?
You're not cool with that? You see his reaction? He's
Thought
like,
I was amongst friends.
To his bedroom
Like-
to say goodnight, and he was crying because of the abuse that he was enduring
My
in
word.
this school system.
Then why did you stay in Mexico?
That woman clutching her pearls though as she turns around. Oh, that's funny.
That was funny. It's not a funny scenario because that guy was
No.
a piece of shit, but it's funny in the reaction.
Yeah.
no, like, no, Rick is right. Like that shrug at the end, he's like, what? Like, what? The problem with these videos, too, in my opinion, is they're too quick. Like, I need to see the rest of that shit. Like, did you guys just grab him and like, what happened?
So why'd you stop filming? Keep going. I want to see how that's like.
right.
Like, I want to see, like, did they all?
That guy's
Because
name was right on it too. That guy Tom Burrell. Like, oh well, Tom, guess what's going to happen to you after this?
right, you know that scene where
Into his
Mufasa is.
bedroom to say goodnight, and he was
I would
crying
pounce on him.
because of the abuse that he was enduring in this.
This lady right here.
Then why
This
did you
lady
stay
right
in
here is
Mexico?
about to fight.
His shrug, though.
Oh my God!
Wow. Right.
Oh.
That's-
Whoa.
What? Man? What? It's a little light racism.
Sprinkled in there. Yeah. So, yeah.
I don't know that was sprinkled. That was sort of just dumped.
That was like when you get ready to roll bread and you do that whole flour thing.
Oof. Yeah.
I mean, you remember when we were younger and our parents used to say, the nerve? Like, that was the first thing I thought of. You have the nerve to really, like, not only to say that, but then to back it up with, like, what? Like,
Like, what's wrong about what I said?
right. Like, that's even worse than what he said, in my opinion.
Well,
Was
I
the
kind of
the
agree.
response to
the worst part, he's gonna go back later with his buddies drinking his Budweiser and saying, "Hey man,
I'm
like
with
all these
you,
people got up my
JHG.
shit about saying this thing about going," and all those guys will be like, "Yeah, that's bullshit, man."
right. Cancel culture is something, right?
Sorry.
Right. So, Jeffrey, Sunday is the biggest couples holiday. Is that a? So, do you do anything for this holiday? Would you
Is it
suggest
though?
anything? Do you do anything for it special? Would you suggest anything?
So the
As a
only
food
thing
person?
special that I did this year was I painted my nails for it with a big old dick on it and hearts. That's the only thing I did that was special. You asked, I'm gonna give you my honest
That's very
answer,
special.
and it glows in the dark. No, we historically don't really celebrate Valentine's Day, so it's never been on our radar. I think we're both of the feeling that if we have to reserve one day that's just special for us, and that's really just that's not that special, then we sort of celebrate each other all the time, and I'm cool with that. So yeah.
Beautiful. So, do you have any suggestions for people who are trying to, from a food angle? Are there any like dishes that really pop out to you that are like Valentine's dishes, whether it be like comfort food or like, I don't see spicy food as a Valentine's Day thing. I see
So
more
chilies
like,
are an aphrodisiac, so it depends on how you're looking at, what angle you want to go to.
Sure.
Because There are some really beautiful desserts that you could do with like chilies and chocolate that are really, really, really great.
Mhm.
You know, so if you're looking to tantalize and really go for the senses, I think that there are some really cool things that one could do. But there are some really easy things. It all depends on what you want to do, how much time you have on your hands, and also where you're located. Right now with COVID and everything, you know, not that our markets are not stocked, but it's basically what you see is what you get. So it all depends on what you want, what your skill level is, and what your partner likes, and what you feel comfortable doing in the kitchen. So it's a real loaded question.
Yeah, for sure. It's not an easy one, but I like I like the perimeter that you're already setting up, which is like dessert.
God bless you, sweetheart.
Dessert makes it easy. Desserts are, you know what I mean? You can just go through your day and then have roll out a special dessert. And it doesn't have to take up it doesn't have to encompass your whole day. And it doesn't even have to be like Doug and I were talking before. We got you on about how sometimes if you make a full meal, that's a lot of pressure, nailing that entree, that vegetable on the side and all that. So like if you just concentrate on dessert, and you can have that too, especially with people with families like us. When the shit settles down at night, you can pull out a nice like dessert. Yeah.
And
so
you
I don't
can
know.
also
Anything
keep it really simple.
Yeah.
Right, you can keep it real simple, right? You know, so that if you're not really good, let's say, with playing with chocolate, but you want to do something fancy, you know, typically during or in like the produce section, you'll find like the chocolate melt tabs that are really, really easy. They're microwavable. Throw them in the microwave, melt them. You can dip fruit and sort of make like a homemade little fondue platter. If you're not really into sweet, you could also, do a charcuterie platter. And instead of doing, melted chocolate and stuff, you can have, chocolate and almonds and nuts, that maybe you coat, let's say, with some chili and salt and some fruit zest. That would be really fun. So you've got two different angles that you can take.
Sweet. Doug, do you do anything special?
We do not. We are much like Jeffrey and his husband. It's like hey, I get that there are some people that's like a thing.
Absolutely.
If that's your thing, fucking knock yourself out. I just don't think it's one, if you're gonna, like, if it wasn't COVID times, but if you're gonna go out to eat on Valentine's Day, that's a complete waste of time and a real waste of money because everything is twice as expensive. And you're going to get these, like, the chefs will go out of the way and they'll do something really great, like something that tastes, but it's like almost like tapas size.
Mm-hmm.
And you're paying like twice as much for something and not getting as much food, and for me, and Joel, we just don't think that that's all that important because we do that every day. So, but again, if it's something that you really like the idea, like there's couples, like, for instance, if you have young kids, some people, that's the time they get to go actually have a romantic evening together. Like literally might be the only way they get to do it. And I'd say, hey, great, good on you and do what you can do. But for me, I'll pass.
Jeff, real quick, breakfast too. Somebody put breakfast. That sparked an idea. Breakfast in bed. Anything, does that spark any ideas?
So super duper easy. If you want to make something elegant and cool for breakfast in bed, eggs. Right? If you're really good with eggs, so either a nice fried egg on toast or egg in a hole is really cute, right? And if you want to get fancy, you can, I don't like it, but they make packaged hollandaise sauce that you can buy in advance. This way, you can sort of make like a faux egg Benedict. That could be really fun. So super easy.
Awesome.
And not too much pressure.
This is the post before that.
Yeah.
Something, I am okay with that. Chocolate cover or the chocolate strawberry Cheerios.
I've never seen them.
Yeah. Well, that's fucking Manny. He has every cereal cereal under the sun. So
right.
I've never heard of sunburst trout caviar.
Oh, delicious. Oh my gosh. That is decadent.
This is Mr. Daniel Fisher, who's I don't know.
On
There's no-
blinis. I mean,
Yeah,
so
there's no one-
fancy. I love
Yeah.
it.
There's
I
no
haven't
one.
heard
He
that
lives
since
in
school.
New York City is what the. I mean, does it get
Center of
any
the
better
universe.
as a foodie place? Does it get any better as a foodie place?
Yes, actually.
Oh, okay, okay. But New
I
York's
think.
up there though. It has to be top.
New York is
I mean,
absolutely up there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree,
Okay.
but I do think that there are better.
I wouldn't know. I've never been in the foodie capacity, but I could just assume that, and just the way it's set up.
I think it's overrated actually, but I think that there are some other places that have a more phenomenal food scene. But that's me.
Gotcha. But it's good for its chops, though. It's one of those ones that's up there just because of what it is. Sure.
I think also because there's a huge variety of stuff in New York City that a lot of places don't have quite as big a selection. Some, I don't know. That's the first place I ever had Ethiopian food. And Ethiopian food's delicious. So
Ethiopian food's amazing.
We'll see post-pandemic too.
Yeah, post-pandemic. Let's see what happens with all that, with all the food scene.
Yeah. What's up, Doug? You got something for our man here?
Well, I saw you pop open another beer. What'd you open up?
Nah.
No. Fuck that.
No. Nothing to talk about. Just alcohols.
Oh.
Just
That's a good one.
saving me over because I got big beers over here.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to hear Jeffrey talk. So I didn't really want to even talk about the beer. I just wanted to keep drinking. So I just pull out a Hopalicious. Like a Hopalicious is like, I just want to keep going and you guys can keep talking.
Yeah. What is here's a good question. So we just discussed Ethiopian food. What is a cuisine that each of you like gravitate towards when it's not like stereotypical, like, we'll go have Italian. I mean, something that's a little like for me, even sushi would be fine if you're thinking that's like what you would go for if you had a chance to eat something that's not an everyday fare for you.
You're going to make me think.
Yeah, I am. That's part of the show, the magic.
So I think, and I've been indulging it quite a lot. I'm with my dad having passed away recently, a few days a week, I'm still over at my mom's place. And while it's not Brian's favorite food, I find that when I'm over at my mom's, I've been sort of forcing it on her to try. And there aren't many great restaurants, but Indian food specifically has been something that has absolutely captivated me. And yeah, it's hard to find a really, really, really good place. I'm fortunate there's one really great place here locally in Ambler. Not that you guys know where Ambler is. Maybe you do, Doug.
I do.
Oh, you might know. Actually, Daddy
I do.
Porter, you probably do know Ambler. You're from this area.
I'm
What am I
familiar.
talking about?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Like, you better know Ambler.
Yeah,
Oh,
man. Born and raised, Philly, Pennsylvania, Allentown, all that shit. Yeah.
Right? Allentown. That's right. That's where you're from. Anyway, so Indian food for me.
Okay, what about you? Dave? Oh, sorry, Jeff. Didn't mean.
No, you're good. You're good.
What were you going to finish up with?
Finish up, Jeff.
I was going to say, just like, especially the vegetarian aspects of it. So, like, I've been introducing my mom to, like, SAAGs, SAAGs, which are typically in American Indian cuisine. And by American Indian, I'm talking about Americanized Indian cuisine. You'll see it with, spinach. But what's been really cool is that I've gotten her to try it with, like, mustard greens, cilantro in there as a green, and kale and other things that are, heartier. And it's been fantastic to get away from just like the spinach stuff. And delicious. Just delicious. Anyway, Go ahead.
So the question, Doug, was like a cuisine of food that we don't normally eat.
Yeah, like one that you really like, but it's not something you get a lot. Maybe just due to you don't have a lot of options to get it, or it's just something, maybe it's a little pricier, or just something you just don't normally think. And then when you go, oh, we should have this. Yeah,
you guys got it for me when I was at your house. Thai food.
Yum.
Yeah.
Good choice.
The thing with Thai food too is that unfortunately, Thai food, in my opinion, is one of those that you have to eat at the restaurant. Like you want it hot, fresh when it comes out. It's a different thing when it's takeout. So we unfortunately have been doing takeout during the pandemic, so I haven't had my Thai like the way I want it, which is, you go sit down and it's just served. I mean, a bowl, a big bowl of pho. This is not the same in the plastic jar. I mean, it's good, you know what I mean? But when they bring that big bowl out to you and you're just there, it's just, yeah. So that would be my one, because normally too, we go out to eat and we don't go all the time to the Thai place. So it's kind of like, it was like a once a month thing or once every 2 month thing. So it's kind of special. We actually had it yesterday. We got curbside, but yeah, it's not the same.
I'm gonna say that Thai is up there, and one that's kind of, just because of where I grew up, is like German or even Polish food.
Okay.
Oh man, all the potatoes, all the all the fried things, like not like fried chicken, but like they fry quite a bit of stuff, but they're just something so filling and
and greasy, which is wonderful.
Greasy and sort of decadent in that way. I mean, yeah, it's
heavy animal fat.
Are you talking down on the schnitzels?
No, I love Schnitzel. But that's not
great.
There's one German restaurant near me and one Polish restaurant near me, and I don't think of them enough. The thing is like, you go, it just, I don't know.
Sauerbraten.
My brain is now like, oh yeah, sauerkraut, and then the slaw, and then just give me the freaking kielbasa, and just give me all that stuff, and pierogi.
And the pierogies,
Yeah, real quick, when I was in college, I had a friend's parents visit us, and they just scooped us up and took us to a restaurant. They're like, "Hey, we know this restaurant," and it ended up being this German schnitzel place that had like four tables. Like, I mean, there was no one in there. The ladies' kitchen, it was like her house. Like, she redid her house. You just walked in her house, and her kitchen's right there, and she just made the schnitzel in Daytona Beach, Florida. And I'm just telling you, it was an experience. I never had it before, and I still really never had schnitzel in that manner. And I don't know, like, I almost don't want to have it, if that makes sense. Because I still remember that experience. I don't even remember the damn schnitzel. It was just that experience of having that. And then, I don't know, the lady and I talked, if I would have had this conversation with her, I would say, what is this place doing during COVID? Like, what are those special, small places that we love? How do they survive during COVID? Because they weren't takeout places. You know what I'm saying? And
they're not built for it.
Right. And they're not distance places. They're like, some of those best restaurants are those ones where you're like in a chair like this.
The hole in the wall place.
Right. People are like walking. Every time the waiter walks by you, they hit your elbow. You know what I'm saying?
The place.
It's like, yeah. So I just like, sometimes when I'm thinking about food, especially now in COVID, I'm thinking about those places that are like so special and small. And like, there's just, I just hope that, many of them make it. I don't know what's going on in your area about where restaurants or not, but it seems like a lot of them are still holding on. And I think once the pandemic ends is when we're really going to find out which ones really made it. So yeah, I don't. Was there a question in there?
No, you brought back a memory, but that's okay.
You want to share it?
Oh, you're willing to listen? Sure.
Where are we?
Well, we're here, man.
If anybody has ever been to the seaport town Mystic in Connecticut, there was a phenomenal little hole in the wall called Kitchen Little. And I remember driving up there. It was a little breakfast place, opened up early, closed around 1, 2. It was tiny. And it was really for the locals, because when you walked in, everybody that was local had their own mug hung up there. And it was great seeing people come in and grab their mug just to get filled with coffee and whatnot. So you made me think about, I'm hoping that a place like that survives. Because like when I went to college in Rhode Island, I would oftentimes drive down from Rhode Island to Northern Connecticut, because it was about a 25-30 minute drive from where I was to go get breakfast with my friends. So from a childhood memory with my family, it was, something that, was into my later teens and then 20s. So just, you made me think of that place. Damn you.
Sorry.
Yo, you're fine.
Rick is describing
Ramen.
what I feel about pho. It's the same thing. It just doesn't replicate. It just
Nope.
doesn't.
Nope. And when we get it, it's like, here's your container of soup or broth.
Right.
It's all the ingredients and you add, and I'm like, yeah, but that's not how you get it. Like when you're in the restaurant, I agree. I think you're exactly right there, Greg. It's just one of those, like, you got to have it where it's being made. Just
But at the same time, in order for them to be around, we have to, patronize them as much as we can now. So we do have to get the quote subpar. It's subpar takeout, but we got to do it in order to keep them around, and that's why we do it. And that's the plus it's still pretty good. I mean, it's not, what I mean. We're always looking for that like high end experience. And Doug, didn't I say during the start of the pandemic, things are different during the pandemic. You should be more appreciative of what the hell you have during the pandemic, because things shouldn't be as big and crazy as they are during the pandemic, because it's the fucking pandemic. Sorry. Go on. Like, is a pandemic supposed to be me in a hammock down in the Caribbean? No, it's a pandemic. It's not going to be easy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go on, Doug.
I'm gonna open beer number 2.
Shut this guy up.
From our boy JHG, Port City Porter.
Oh shit. Port City Porter.
Yeah. So looking the part there, baby. Nice and roasty on the nose. Like having a milk mustache.
I love it. A beer stash.
Mm-hmm.
Called a head stash.
Sorry,
I couldn't resist.
All right, Greg, take your pick. I would say go with the patriarchy first.
It's actually going to be one or the other, and the other one's not going to get done today.
Then do the wheat wine. I really want to hear what you think of that.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, whatever doesn't get done today will be next week.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
There's a good salad porter, by the way. Greg's just going to spend the rest of the show with beer cans in the camera.
Which one?
Right.
Which one?
That's the one he said, the wheat wine.
Yeah, but how big is this shit?
That's only 9.2 for a wheat wine. That's not
Only?
Well, wheat wines are fucking like giants when it comes to the ABV normally. 9.2 is low for a wheat wine.
A black wheat wine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that! It's pretty.
Yes, it is. Pretty glass
Yes,
too.
it is. All right, so I have no idea what the hell he's talking about.
It's New York City stuff.
Man, I can't wait to go there to do the beer trip.
Yeah, the one that we had to postpone. Cheers, John. I'm not sure what that face is, Greg.
Yeah, this is a coconut?
Hazelnut.
Two very different nuts.
That's what she said.
Were they?
Are they?
I'm just trying to figure out why this is a wheat wine as opposed to like a really, really roasty stout.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get the wheat out of it. But I think what's going on is this hazelnut and this orange blossom honey is kind of overshadowing it.
I agree. It doesn't taste like the wheat wine we had over at the place near my house.
It's good, don't get me wrong, but it's just a different.
Yeah, I really, really like that one.
I like it too. I like it a lot. But I'm like, hey, give me some wheat and this wheat wine. So, Jeffrey, do we want to do time for a sponsor, or do we want to do a crazy ass clip that I don't even
Let's do a clip, okay? Because now you got me feeling for that. Let's itch for that.
brace yourself for this one.
I'm afraid. Should
Literally.
I video myself? Should I make a TikTok?
We don't show any porn. We're not doing that.
Oh goodness. Ooh.
I've seen this thing a few times. I think I figured out everything that's going on, but here we go.
Come on, you gotta get.
What the fuck is we live? We on Facebook Live. I just got through finished busting a nut. I don't even know what the fuck is going on.
Come on.
Why have you called these people? Why are you attacking? Why are you back up off me? Get away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me. Why are you attacking me? You're not taking my phone. We live. You called the cops, let the cops deal with it.
That's
You didn't
fine.
want to play mother. So don't try to strong arm me now. You just called them people in here to deal with me. You didn't want to deal with me. So you brought the people in to deal with me. So you can eat a dick and get the fuck out of my face.
Come on, go to the hospital.
Don't try to give me a spanking because they here. Give me a spanking when they not here.
Come on, go to the hospital.
Eat a dick and die.
Hey man, we trying to handle this as civilly as possible.
No, you not. You just came in after I finished busting a nut. You're not trying to handle this civil as possible. You know what? You not. If you would have wanted to handle this civilly, you would have called my phone.
Come get your
The
number.
whole city got my number. It's on my Facebook. I'm a very popular guy around here.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
You rap or what?
Barber.
Barber.
Yeah.
I need to line up, man. You got a car?
Get away from me. Can y'all get her away from me, please? Who are you?
You got a business card, man?
Ma'am, can I help you? Who is this lady?
You got a business
This is not my mother.
You come here, right?
I got some more coming. I'm out right now. I'm feeling unsafe right now. Y'all moving furniture around. Y'all coming in, taking control.
Two personnel.
And then I'm sorry. I feel unsafe for anybody under 6 feet. And that guy right there is very short. And because the short guys got little man personalities like that. Like they get offended very easy, and they get over aggressive when it's not needed. And that guy is very short.
He's a pretty understanding guy.
No, he's not. I don't trust him. I don't trust no short. No guy only 5'5". I'm sorry. He has. I know he got a little man complex, and then he gonna shoot me. I feel like he gonna shoot me. I feel like he's gonna shoot me just because of his height. Yeah, I'm not. I'm sorry. I don't mean to discriminate. I'm sorry, but history have shown me every guy your height overdoes it. And I feel like I'm gonna get gunned down sitting in my living room after watching a porno.
Why'd you get jumped out?
See, that's the aggressiveness I was talking about.
Hey, if he leaves, would you come out? Like,
I would talk to y'all, but I'm not. Oh yes, I would talk to y'all, but this guy, I don't trust him. He has I know you got an itch. They're fine. We're all fine.
That's fine. I don't know you. Well, if
See, that's what I mean. He's aggressive already.
You gonna come out?
He's offensive. I know what I said was offensive, but he knows yes, because it's the truth. I'm sorry, it's the goddamn truth. It's the truth. It's like every guy on the 5'5" has a complex towards me, and they aggressive towards me because I'm big. I'm a big, sensitive guy,
Well, you can feel that way.
and I'm not ashamed to say that.
It's your right to feel that way, though.
And I feel like these shorter persons are. You see how she was aggressive with me my whole life. That stranger that's opposing as my mother.
Well, listen.
Is she? Is that Sherry Davis?
You called her mom.
I didn't call nobody.
Well, listen.
I haven't called anybody. I'm just sitting here watching a porno.
What's up with hooking up with people with a haircut or something? You see
I got you. I got you. Take my number down. It's in my coat. I'm afraid to reach for my coat right now. I'm gonna keep my hands crossed right here.
Everybody's hands.
Well, I'm gonna just keep mine right here.
Okay, that's fine.
You know, black man got a tendency. No offense, got a tendency of dying around you guys.
I've been pretty fine. Hey, what's your phone number though, bro?
Shit, it'd be black cops right there. They like shit. They be the ones shooting. I don't know my number about hard. It's 773. I have my number is right on that box in my coat in that closet.
Get out the crib or you got a shop?
No, I'm at a shop.
Well, let's go out.
I don't feel safe under 6 feet. That took a whole turn I wasn't expecting.
Comments? You know when Jeffrey is silent and he has no comment. I did pretty well with the videos this week, but
It was a roller coaster.
so the whole thing. I'm just still trying to figure. Then how does this whole? How do we get to where the video starts?
I couldn't even get past the whole eat a dick and die. I'm sorry.
Come on, you gotta get.
What the fuck is we live? We on Facebook Live. I just got through finished busting a nut. I don't even know what the fuck is going on. Why have you called these people? Why are you attacking? Why back up off me? Get away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me. Why are you attacking me? You're not taking my phone. We live. You called the cops, let the cops deal with it.
Look, you still
Why back up off me? Get away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me. Why are you attacking me? You're not taking my phone. We live. You called the cops, let the cops deal with it.
Can I ask a question? What is in his?
You didn't want to play mother.
Is that the
So don't try to
bag?
strong arm.
What's up, Doug?
What's in his hand there? Is that the jizz rag?
Yes.
Don't. Oh.
Yes.
See, I didn't need to. That's a question that just didn't need to get asked, dude.
Right.
Oh.
So listen.
Like we all knew what that was. Like we all knew what that was.
Hey, sometimes you have to state the obvious.
I love it.
Hold on, this is just your part. Everybody shut up. This is just your part.
You just called them people in here to deal with me. You didn't want to deal with me. So you brought the people in to deal with me. So you can eat a dick and get the fuck out my face. Don't try to give me a spanking because they here. Give me a spanking when they not here.
Eat a dick and die.
Eat a dick and die. No, you not. You
Eat his dick and die. Like I'm just done. I was done. And then the whole Napoleon Complex thing. There was just so much to unpack in there. Like
everybody's thinking the same. There's a lot to unpack there.
There's I don't.
What did I tell you guys? I was like, I've seen this thing 3 or 4 times, and I'm still. Yeah.
Give me a spanking when they're not here, boy.
I know. Like, what are you doing?
And after I finish busting a nut, you're not trying to handle this silver as pie.
Oh my god.
Good question. Is eating dicks dangerous?
No. Duh. Ask any straight man if licking a you know what is dangerous.
Okay, so the mother walks in, finds him masturbating, calls the cops. But he doesn't know the cops are called, or
there's so much to that. There's so much history that led up to that. Let's be real.
Yeah,
but like, I don't think it was staged or anything. It wasn't staged, right?
No, I don't think so. But there was a tactical team there. Like they weren't just regular old popo there. They had like gear up and on them.
Come on, you gotta get.
What the fuck?
Right.
We live. We on Facebook Live.
I'm like, and the other one's just leaning over there. He is literally leaning. That popo right there is leaning. Really?
In the nut. I don't even know what the fuck is going on. Why have you called these?
We can spend an hour going for it.
Yeah, let's not.
Oh shit! Back to the beer here. I think. Got more weight than I thought. Digging.
Yeah, I sent him one of those too.
Yep. It's almost like a burly black IPA. Yes. Yes.
It's freaking good though. Even if it's not, let's say it's not technically a wheat wine, it's still a delicious beer, I think.
I'm getting that t-shirt. This one?
I
or
love that T-shirt. I told you that before the
or
show went live.
Doug, or the T-shirt on a dude who was masturbating in the.
Oh, I was like, ooh.
What?
I'm not
Eat
sure
a,
he was
dick,
wearing
eat,
the
a,
shirt.
eat a dick and die. Oh yeah, I think it's the eat a dick and die.
I remember there was somebody who used to say that as an insult, and I was just like, that is not an insult for a lot of people, boo. Like, you need to search deeper. Like, there's just so many funny retorts that one could say, like, eat a dick? Really? Okay, boo.
What? Okay, Jeffrey. What about eat a bag of dicks?
Ew. I'll eat a bag of dicks. Why not? Like I said,
Hey,
I got a dick on my nail for Valentine's Day. I mean,
it does depend on the dick, though. It does depend on the dick, though, doesn't it, Jeff?
I mean, listen, different strokes for different folks, but you know, I mean,
I love where this is going. This is great.
I mean, listen. There's actually a really funny article this is making me think of, and I don't remember if it was in Washington Post, but it was about there was a two-part series how every vulva is different and every dick is different, every penis is different. It's a really, really interesting article. Not safe for work, so don't open it up if you're on your work computers and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, every dick is different.
So we have snowflake penises. This is awesome.
I learned that people today are very sensitive to seeing penises because in a couple of the like it was really, really funny today. Like today was like a hard lesson that, you know, some people can go out and like put vaginas on their hats and stuff and go march for a reason. But the minute somebody queer puts a dick up on their thumb, like all hell broke loose. And it was like, oh, that's just too offensive. And I was like, oh wow, and you're liberal. Okay. I got you. Cool. It's cool. I feel you. So yeah, I broke a lot of people's bones today with this. All puns intended. But anyway.
Touch that one, pun intended. Hey, Jeff, it's time for a sponsor. You want to talk about something?
I don't even know what to talk about, truth be told. But, you know, actually, I do know something to talk about. I think that something important actually happened in recent weeks, given that it's February and Black History Month. Something really striking happened, and I think it's important to bring up, actually. So, yeah, if I'm going to talk about something, you know, I'm in quite a few parenting groups, and in some of the parenting groups, you know, I've taken on a self-affirmed role, I guess, of educator. I like to share things that are going to get people to think. So this year, in one of the parenting groups that I'm now third year in, I did a search for certain keywords like race, racism, Black History Month. And I noticed that of the 14 posts in over a 3-year period, 13 of the 14 were from me. So I challenged the group of 12,000 people who consider themselves pretty progressive, Biden supporters, Trump haters, to do some stuff and to actually do some work, because it's a pretty damn shame that a whole group of people here that profess to be progressive and think forward, you know, aren't starting conversations, but they're still sitting in the back lines. So it was I think it's important that, you know, it's Black History Month. What are we doing? You know, what are we doing to talk about how American history is Black history and Black history is American history and how so much of it is just not taught? So yeah, that's what I challenge everybody here that wants to do better. What are you doing in your home to help get rid of racism? Like, what are you doing to help root it out? Like, actively doing. What are you doing? What books are you reading to your kids? What books are you reading for yourself to challenge your notion of equality and what it is to be privileged? Or if you don't even have a notion of what privilege is and you don't think that you are privileged, what are you doing? Right? Are you just going to sit there and, I don't know. It's been a couple of strong weeks for me since the insurrection. So anyway, you asked what to talk about. That I think is important to all the viewers here that aren't Black. You know, what are you doing as Americans? Are you challenging yourself? So
I have a point to piggyback on that. So speaking to what exactly you're talking about, Jeff, is last night our friend Afro Beer Chick did her first live show with Kinky Suds and
Amen.
Black Beer Chick, I think.
Yes. Yep.
Virginia and Denise. And the show was about Black women and sex. And it was enormously enlightening to listen to them talk about like how their bodies are managed as Black women. Like, yes, there's a lot of body management when it comes to women in general, but especially for Black women. And like hearing them just recount the ways in which they've had to overcome things. And it's a thing. It's like, it's not something as a white guy, I walk around, I'm a white straight guy, I walk around, I don't have to think about any of that shit. And I'm what's considered the norm, but it's not really the norm. But you know, it's, I think you have to, like, especially someone like myself, I need to be able to stop talking and listen more. And as you say, take in more works by people who don't look like me. You know, we need to have more voices, and you know, it starts at home, and I think it should extend out beyond home. I know that shit's scary, but if we don't do it, if we don't amplify that stuff, how's it going to get broadcast to folks who won't hear it?
Correct. Because honestly, you know, there was a phrase that an old friend of mine used to say, and oh gosh, this brings me back, a spell called "Gather the Children." And whenever he would have something important to talk about, he would say, "Come on, let's gather the children. Let's bring them together." And it's sort of what, you know, white passing and white folk need to do, is gather others and have these conversations. And those of us that have done work, are doing work, and are actively sitting and listening, how are we helping to counter other views to help bring them to a place of reckoning? Because it can be done. I've seen it happen. I've absolutely seen it happen. And it doesn't necessarily take compassion. It definitely takes a lot of challenge and guts. But I mean, I've seen it with my own family members who have absolutely changed views. And it's taken time, but you got to gather the children. So yeah, after the search that I did in the two groups, I was just sort of like, wow, okay, there's still a lot of work to be done. You can click like and love to all of this that you want, but what are you doing? Anything else? So I love that you brought that up. Great piggyback.
Yeah. Well, like there's also, like, I was just started realizing that, like, the amount of, I have a boatload of books in my house. That's a very small sample, but I realized I just didn't have enough Black authors. I didn't have enough female authors. Traditionally, like if you're looking at stuff that's older, it was predominantly white male.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been trying to be a little better about reading authors who aren't the default, you know? So, you know, I picked up How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibrahim Zendi.
Even Kendi.
Yeah. But the thing is, I picked that up thinking I need to, like, I personally don't think I'm a racist, but I'm coded in privilege. Like I don't have, like, so my foundation is like, I grew up in a really rural white area, and that rural white area is very racist. So, like, yeah, I'd like to think that I've worked through some of those kinks, but I still have a lot of those things that I need.
Yeah, we all do.
So there's biases that I have that I don't even realize I have. So I didn't buy that book for the kudos of being the white guy reading the book about how to be an anti-racist. I bought it because I actually want to freaking learn.
Yeah, and it's tough. And when you finish that particular book, you know, the way Kendi presents sort of the architecture of anti-racism as it exists sort of in academia, it's a phenomenal book. One of the books that I got over the holidays, actually, from one of the groups that I'm active in, is called How to Show Up. And I'm super, super excited to start reading that. I believe it's Alicia Garza that wrote that, I think. I could be wrong. But anyway, it's a phenomenal, what you're reading right there is just a phenomenal book. So keep at it. We all got to keep at it, because there's always something to learn, always somebody new to follow, always new thoughts. And when the things that people say that don't look like us make your skin crawl or make you think, those are the people to listen to most, actually. And that's the time to sit down. That's the time to read it again and again and again and again and think, why is it making my skin crawl before speaking? Mm-hmm. And it's been probably the biggest lesson that I've learned throughout all of it is that, wow, most of it's making me crawl because it's like having that Band-Aid that over a really salted wound sort of ripped off. And you're just like, oh, that's my knee-jerk response. Okay, I need to read that again and sit with it. So I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
You have to. My little jump in here is as obviously a black cis male, you have to. Even I have to be intentional about the way I do things, especially in this manner. Doug has helped me a lot as far as this goes. Believe it or not, people don't act like it, but or people don't realize that, but it. I don't want to say it takes a village, but I'll say that. It's just that unfortunately they've taken that term and morphed it and turned it around. But my point is we all have to have each other's backs. My example for this is that Doug pointed out a few times, it's not recently, but within the past, doing all this about how we have to be intentional about the voices that we have on this stream, and that it's not just the same message. And we should do what we can to be diverse. So for people who know, who have been on this stream, know that we book out months. And now when we book out months, there are literally gaps where I'm like, I need a female. I need this. And we literally schedule our stream this way now. Like we literally are that intentional about making sure that we have a diversity of thought and people. It went into our third guest, our third co-host, which is Casey. It went into when we have people who back out. The first person I call is Jeff, because again, we want diversity, we want diverse ideas, we want diverse people, and we are mindful about it. That's the only way it's happening. If we weren't mindful about it, we would just be going. And then,
that's it. When you're not mindful about it, you lose it. Right.
So, people just think that, black people got it because they're black, and and gay people got it just because they're gay and they understand. No. We have to be intentional too.
Yeah,
we have to remind ourselves too. We have to have Doug over there saying, how many women we got? What's going on, Greg? We don't have any, and Doug's, and also too, as far as that goes too, on this stream we've diversified as far as just not being a beer show, and that has helped us too to not only get better conversations, but to diversify the whole thing, because craft beer is a male-dominated thing. So once we spread out, it just seems like everything's better. Everything's better with diversity. Everything.
I agree.
Damn it. And JHG's one of them. JHG, love him. Let's just keep it real. I love JHG. I've known him forever. But JHG is a white male. So when I'm scheduling, I have to keep that in mind as far as where he fits with everybody else. Next week we have Ariana. I cannot wait. She's fantastic. And we got to put more pressure on her to do her. She wants to do a live stream. We saw ABC did her first live stream yesterday, and she just came up and just knocked it out.
Shit right out.
Right. And I think Ariana, I don't know if you caught her, Jeffrey, when she was on. She's just an amazing person, mother. She's fantastic. She's funny. She's made for this stream. But if Doug didn't reach out to her, we would have never had her. And so it's just, again, diversity. We can speak all night about it.
And to that point, like diversity, as you said, it's not just a beer show. It's a conversation show, I think, is where we've gotten to. Initially, it was like, hey, what are you drinking? And drinking is a vehicle to open up conversation. Like, Jeffrey, you're not a drinker, but we fucking love having you on your show because you have a diversity of thought, and it's not just based on, I'm having this IPA, I'm having water. We've had guests that don't drink at all, but like we've had folks who are writers, we've had folks who aren't in the beer world at all. And I think that's actually good for the show. It brings a lot of different ideas and thoughts into the mix.
It is. And this 1 month we have 3 beer people. So then we're literally, Doug, I'm like, well, we're not doing it anymore until I find some non-beer people. Really, I'm not even bullshitting. So sometimes that's why shit slows down on that angle. And people are like, I talked to Greg 2 months ago about booking, and he still hasn't gotten back to me. Well, it's because it's kind of complicated. So it's become actually it's the most complicated thing we do, though. Which
I think you're right. Like there's people I've been trying to book, and then you're like, all right, this is all booked. And I was like, shit, now I have to email them again and tell them that those dates are all taken.
Right. Conversation and libation.
Oh, I like that. Daniel, clever boy.
So I got one more crazy video for us. It's not as crazy as that last one, but it's kind of crazy. Still in the aspect of like just kind of where we are in the society. We got to get Casey is busy as hell on his book.
Yeah, poor guy.
Book and what is this thing? What is this new thing, Doug?
You're doing the stuff with Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, right?
Like
you hear about Clubhouse
all the time. So
you heard about Clubhouse, Jeffrey?
No, if it's not Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, I'm not really sure.
No, it's not that. It's akin to like
remember, parents of toddlers.
Yeah.
Unless it's on like New York Times, Mother Jones, I'm not seeing it. No.
No, but it's kind of it's not the same as like something like Vine or anything. It's not like short pops, but like it's a new pop-up kind of video thing.
Got it.
I think is
okay.
I haven't investigated it much, but like Casey's all in on that, and
it's kind of like
Casey's a busy dude.
yeah. It's kind of like LinkedIn though, like you can use it to network, right? Or something like that, right. And I don't know, Elon Musk got on there and all hell broke loose, and Zuckerberg was on there or something too. So I don't know, Casey's on there, and apparently he's networking with people and all kinds of crazy shh. So yeah, good on Casey, but I don't know why we brought him up. Oh no, because
your co-host.
Because no, he brings that Clubhouse. He brings the he doesn't. What I like about Casey,
it's audio.
Yeah, what I like about Casey is that he doesn't. He's naive a little bit to some of our politics shit. Like you and I, we can all talk right now about the impeachment and what the hell's going on and blah blah blah. Casey will be like, "What's going on?" Like he's a little, he's an arm's distance away.
I'm not laughing at Casey. It's the way you did that was
right.
Girl, I can't with you.
He is though. He's not. Hey, we're naive to their too. Anyway,
I have an excuse. I'm old.
What's that, Doug?
I said I have an excuse. I'm old. So
why? What's your excuse for what?
For not understanding a lot of this shit.
Oh, you understand that you just don't want to even.
I'm also I'm a late bloomer with that stuff. I am one of those people that are late to follow with like the technology. Like I am not good with it. Like of my husband and myself, he is always the one that's like on the latest trend, technologically speaking. And like, I'm sometimes really slow to that kind of change. Like I still don't really use Twitter. Like I'm just getting into Twitter, and I'm like, I feel like I'm 20 years too late for it. Maybe, right? But like, anyway.
But no, Jeffrey, no, I'm with you on an aspect of like, like, do I spend my time jumping into this? And is this something that's just gonna like fly by? Like some things just fly by and they don't catch. Like, Facebook's one that caught. You know what I mean? It's here. Most people use it. You know what I mean? You can almost feel. You almost feel like good. Like these things that jump up like Clubhouse and.
I heard of something called Parler. Have you heard of Parler and tried that out?
Oh, Parler, yeah. Well, no. Parler's at
wrong platform.
What about MeWe? Have you heard of that one too?
Yeah, that's another one. Oh, I heard that from my in-laws.
Oh, did you really?
Which one?
I'm on MeWe now. It's wonderful. That's where I'm not slow.
MeWe,
MEWE, like,
okay.
Yeah.
And what is this? I've never heard of this one actually.
MeWe is sort of like a Twitter platform for I would say it's more closer to Twitter than anything, but again, uncensored stuff. I just love reading it, honestly. Like, I remember when I downloaded Parler months and months and months ago, and people thought I was crazy. And it's like, I love doing all that stealthy stuff. Like, and like, I have a whole separate email set up for it so that, you know, it's like just not tied to my normal stuff. I got the most right-wing name you could even imagine. I don't comment. I don't engage. I just read. And it's crazy.
See, yeah, I like that shit. We'll talk offline.
It's crazy.
Pandemic Patriot 1776.
Anywho, here we go, folks.
Yo no estoy ofendiendo a nadie, ¿ok? Yo no estoy ofendiendo a nadie, ¿ok?
You have the freedom to speak about what you're saying right now. You can't say that to my parents. They speak English, not perfect, but they speak it. What?
Shut up. Ya, no habla español porque no quiero a los señores que hablen español.
Don't ever talk about my parents like that. You gotta respect.
You trash. I'm not trash, okay? I'm not trash. You trash. Stupid. Stupid. You go back. You stupid. You stupid. Quiet. Be quiet. Close your mouth. I speak English too.
Well,
huh? Okay? I speak English. Not good. I speak English. I job in this country. I job in this country. But you eating. You eating. I job.
Yeah, it's your fault for doing that. It's your fault. It's your fault for doing that.
I clean office. I clean restroom. But you eating. Stupid. Stupid.
We speak English in America.
Yeah, I speak English. Not good, but I speak English, okay? It's stupid.
I hope that you see these borders.
And she's not from Spain, by the way.
That's
So don't be
that's where
racist like
Spain
that.
is. Spanish is from Spain.
Oh my
You can't be
God.
doing that.
I've
That's
been to Spain,
racism.
so I know.
I was waiting for that to
I
you.
don't care.
Like, you don't even understand.
You can't be doing that, telling someone to speak. I'm not telling you to do whatever I want you to do.
Do you want the Russians over here telling you what to do? Do you want the Nazis telling you what to do?
That's what you're doing to my mom. You're telling her what to do.
We
She
want
speaks
English
English.
in the
She's not
United
perfect,
States.
but she speaks English. You can't
We
do that.
want English in the United
We
States. She
have
can go.
freedom of speech. You see? You're the
She can go
proof
eat
of
a dick and die.
We want that freedom.
Yeah, but you can't be telling anyone you speak English if you're in America. You don't do that. I don't tell you how to live, and you live here. This is America. We have the freedom to do
And we
what
want
we
English.
want.
We don't
We
want the
have the
Nazis
freedom.
back. We don't want the fascists
Who's
back.
talking about Nazis here?
We don't want
Who's talking about
Castro
Nazis here?
back.
Who's talking about Castro here? You can't do that. That's
You
being
see, we
racist.
can't to do that. You see, we have no freedom.
Yeah, you
Oh
can't
my
tell
God,
someone
we have
what
no
to
freedom.
do, though. I'm not telling
Oh.
you what to do. I'm not telling you to learn Spanish. I don't care if you don't speak Spanish.
I don't want Spanish. I've been to
Okay,
Spain.
she
Yeah,
speaks
you haven't
English.
been to Spain, and I have.
I have been to Spain before.
And you speak Spanish there?
And I
you
speak
go over
Spanish.
there and speak Russian?
I speak Spanish too. Who cares? They're not.
Our
If they have
freedom-
people like you, that's sad.
freedom-
If they have people like you, that's sad.
Our freedom is
Our freedom is
important.
to do what we
We
want.
fought for our
She
freedom.
works.
We
She
fought
cleans
for our
offices.
freedom.
She cleans offices.
Yeah, well, good for her.
But you can't do that. You
Well,
have
it's
to
a
change
free
your heart, or
country.
you're gonna
That's what
die
I'm
really
saying.
soon. You're gonna die really soon
Oh,
if you.
yeah, we're all going to die,
Yeah,
you see?
but you're
The
gonna die
Nazis are
soon.
here.
But you're gonna
The
die real
fascists are
soon.
here.
Take the wheel.
The Castros are
That's
here.
why I'm voting no for Trump.
Yeah?
No
Yeah,
for Trump. No for Donald Trump.
Castro.
No for.
I've been to Spain.
I wanted it to go a minute longer because I wanted her to admit that she was a Trump supporter.
Wow.
Jeffrey, you all right?
No.
I don't blame you. That
So,
was,
so she proceeds to be like, "Do you want to be like the Nazis?" Right. So then that's why you bring more people in. That's why you have a diverse.
that's why you don't tell people how to speak.
Right. This is a great comment.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Lauren. Yes. Yes, Lauren. Lauren,
It doesn't.
go design
Lauren,
that,
it doesn't-
please.
the flow chart it's a fucking mess. Like she doesn't want the Russians, but then she doesn't want people to be Nazis. But then she's
And then
being a
she said something
Nazi.
about Castro.
But then she's being a Nazi by saying, "Go back to Spain." And Doug, what's your third beer?
Yeah. Greg, I am going for one that you were with me when I got.
She can eat a bag of dicks.
Yes,
She can eat that dick. She could choke on that dick, as far as I'm concerned.
No,
Might as well just go all out, make it a double-ended dildo, be done with it, make her gag, be done. Because I can't with that. I can't with that.
You speak Spanish. Go back to Spain.
God.
Go back to Spain. Like the second video was crazy, but that last one was almost painful. Like I felt pain.
The last one was painful. Yeah.
That was just painful.
Yep.
As long as the dude didn't get shot in a match or anything, I'm cool. I was worried about that. Other than that,
okay.
I don't know if that's really his mother. They got big issues. So like that's almost like you know what I mean. Like you almost feel bad a little bit. But I don't feel bad about this old racist bat, right?
ODB.
Right.
Instead of old dirty bastards, old.
If you would have let that go, she would have talked about drinking baby's blood.
Just call her an orb.
An orb. Perfect.
I love it. Hashtag orb. Where do you go back to? Big Malia, I love it. Send them to Atlantis. Make sure that they ride with the chariot of the gods.
All right, let's go to the third beer. Greg, you were with me when I got this one. It's a year old. It's almost.
Oh my God, is that called Blackbeard?
Yeah.
Blackbeard breakfast.
Do you, Doug? I might have just fallen in love with you even more.
I need a glass. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So this is a porter aged with coffee and aged on bourbon barrels. So it's got coffee and it's a porter. So Greg and I, when we went to the Dad 2.0 conference on our way back, we stopped at this brewery. And then we stopped at the Guinness Brewery, which they have a Guinness one in Baltimore that is like this giant facility that they make all kinds of weird beers there. They don't do like their
totally awesome.
So they do that. This was a far better experience, this place, than the Guinness place was.
Cool.
And I think Greg would agree with me.
I love the bottle. I love the design.
Well, they
the name of.
Honestly, this is their new design, this Heavy Seas logo. It used to be this very cartoony, like it looked like a little kid's kind of thing. And
I'm loving it.
So, but they changed their logo to this Heavy Seas with the skull. It looks much cooler. It doesn't look like a kiddie thing.
I know that Blackbeard is like a throw to like, the pirate and pirate culture and whatnot, but like the logo is just giving me a whole bunch of like Lord of the Ring vibes.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it. I'm living for that. It almost looks like Gandalf to me, Gandalf the Grey.
So that is nice and dark. Definitely a little coffee, a little bourbon on the nose. When I had it fresh, it was much more coffee on the nose. So the coffee is dissipated on the scent at least. Not on the palate, though.
Yum.
Yeah, nice coffee porter with a bit of booze back end. Like sometimes when you get the barrel aged stuff, it's just like it just smacks you around with all the booze flavor. Which, hey, I like booze. I don't disagree with that, but like this is the aging has really balanced it even more. It was pretty well balanced to start with. So the aging just, like I said, it just mellowed it out. The coffee and the booze just really play with each other really well. That's what she said, or he said, or they said. How about that?
I love it. I couldn't even like split that word up in there. Couldn't even get the they there.
Yeah, that is really, really super good. Heavy Seas is the jam.
Ooh.
Heavy seas everywhere. All right, Doug. I'm gonna make you jealous on this one. Sorry.
That's okay.
I apologize in advance.
Make me jealous. I am jealous.
Right.
Fucker.
Giant Jones triple. Giant Jones is the only Madison diverse, the only diverse Madison owned brewery. They are owned by a trans female and her.
And their
Thank you.
partner.
Yes, thank you. Yes, and her wife, and they make phenomenal organic beers. They fucking kill it, and they're just wonderful human beings. And Doug, what happened was they had this pairing. They did this thing with cookies. So they sold 4 of their beers like this, and about 30 different cookies from different vendors. So we have 30 cookies upstairs and 4 Giant Jones beers. I'm not pairing them with cookies, but bye, Jeff. I don't know, something happened to Jeff. He'll be back. But they did a pairing, so there's a whole Jeffrey's back with cookies and all this. So I didn't do the pairing. I'm just doing the drinking.
I don't know what just happened. So sorry.
Beer and cookies. Hey, beer pairs with a lot of things you don't think. Like not just like here it pairs with like this
and cheese.
What's that?
Cheese. Beer and cheese is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Beer and cheese is just amazing.
I think beer and chili. I mean, listen, I am not an alcohol person, as y'all have already referenced. I couldn't tell you the last time I actually had an actual drink. But I will tell you that and it's interesting because when I'm backstage and y'all opening up your first beers and you're sniffing them and you're talking about them, it brings back a whole bunch of memories from like my food science time in the lab, doing sniffs and whatnot. So it's nice to hear the way you guys are using your sensory words for it. But like beer is delicious with lots of food, like chilies, beers and different chocolates are really great. So yeah, and I love that you're bringing out like the different aging. Yeah, beer and cheese. Yeah, especially the stinkier cheeses. Like I find go really, really, really well with beers.
So Lauren, I'll DM you.
Yeah, we have ideas.
Beer and cheese is a big ass subject, but I would say start small, and then I can show you some places where you can look to narrow that down. But once you start, it's just one of those things that like Jeffrey could probably talk about it. Once you start, like once you get in and you start a little bit, you'll just be able to just take it and run. Like food pairings, they're just I don't know if Jeffrey want to talk about them just in general. It doesn't really have to be beer. You can do it with wine. You can do it with seltzers.
You can do it with that, yeah. So here's a really great like starting place. There's a great book called Culinary Artistry. It's an old book. Old book. I think it was written in the 90s.
Hey!
I know. Well, it's probably 25 years old. Anyway, it was probably one of the first books that I read about food, like not food science per se, but about like the thoughts behind the way foods marry each other and marry with each other, complement one another, and how they pair. And it is definitely the foundation to how I build recipes sort of in my brain, or when someone says, I want to eat this, or I have this in my head, I always turn to the way Culinary Artistry, the book, brought the idea of building flavors together. So yeah, if you're looking at understanding, matching and pairing, that would be a really phenomenal place to start. Another really good book, if you want like the food sciencey aspect of it, Harold McGee has a phenomenal book that I think was originally published in the early 80s called On Food and Cooking, The Science and Lore of the Kitchen, I believe is the full title of the book. And towards the end of it, he talks about fermentation science and how fermentation affects flavors. And he talks about, like, for example, how different sweetening systems work with sodas as fermented or gas systems, but then also goes into beers and wines and how they pair. It's good. It's 2 good places.
Sweet. Doug, you have anything for beer and food pairing? Or any kind of pairing?
No, I will just say that one of the weirdest I thought it was weird at the time, and in hindsight, it's not weird at all, is when Joel and I were in Scotland, we went to a Dalwhinnie distillery, and they paired their whiskeys with gourmet chocolates. And what they would have you do is take a bite of the chocolate and then let it melt in your mouth, and then take the whiskey and then like take a small breath in while the whiskey was on your tongue. And it was just an unbelievable, like,
isn't that
experience? Like, there's just, because when you take a breath in with the whiskey on your tongue, it opens up the flavors of the whiskey even more. With the coating of the chocolate on your tongue, there's just this really amazing melding of flavors that, you always hear wine and chocolate, you hear, beer and, whatever, if you're having you have like a lager with this type of food, but like that whiskey and chocolate pairing is one of the, like I said, I remember doing that and being like, what the hell? Like this, why are they pairing? And then afterwards I was like, that makes total sense now.
Right.
So, Lauren, let me show you something here real quick. So I'm on craftbeer.com here, Lauren. And when you go here, you can, let me get back to, you can pick, so say you are having an American wheat. So when you go here to tell you about, what I really like here is to tell you the fruit pairings. Mm-hmm. So here it tells you fruit desserts, Chevrier, am I saying that right? Is a cheese that you could go with.
Oh, chef, goat cheese. I can't read it. You're talking goat cheese. Chevre.
Yes. Chevre. Yep.
That's chevre. It's a goat cheese. It's semi-soft goat cheese.
Okay, so apparently American wheat pairs well, or craftbeer.com feels that it pairs well with Chevrier. These are good places to start. If you are, I would always start with your favorite beer. So whatever your favorite beer is, I would start from there because you have it. So coffee beer, let's see what they say. Aged semi-hard cheeses.
I was gonna say cheddars usually, like semi-cheddars would probably age really well with that.
Right. Now, as a aspiring cicerone, that is something that that I can talk about. I can talk to you about, but I can't be on your. I can be on your Rolodex if you want to text me every time you're out. And I've gotten these texts. Don't get me wrong. Hey, I'm at Trader Joe's and I got a brown ale. What should I get? Literally, I've gotten them. But it's nice to be able to give people the power of themselves. So if you go to craftbeer.com, you can search any of your styles, and then there we'll start to give you a little bit of a guide about what you can pair them up with. With these books on the website, thank you. Absolutely. Daniel Fisher agrees about my good source. Let's see. Daniel says there's a lot of people in the group that have amazing palates. I'm sure a lot of us will be happy to chime in. I used to work at a cheese company, so that's another step. If you're in Daddy Porter's beer group, just feel free to ask. And you'll probably
add me to your group.
Yeah, you'll get a different. And Jeff, talk about this a little bit too. The thing about it is these are like personalized things. So that cheddar might work for you, but that cheddar may not work for me. So you almost have to work to a place to where you know what you like. Speak to that a little bit.
So I think that there are some principles that work when you look at flavor pairings and when you're looking at the way molecules or the way in which certain flavorants may interact with other types of flavorants. So for example, the way an alcohol, right, might react with a high fat cheese, a creamier cheese, or a cheese that's higher in butyric acid, or maybe even like the acetyl. I think ultimately what it goes into is there might be some rules, but it also does come down to preference. Some people might not like cheddar cheese. It doesn't really care if it pairs with your favorite beer. Nothing's ever going to get you to like cheddar cheese if you don't like cheddar cheese, even if it's the nicest aged, cheddar. So to your point, it really comes down to preference. So if you're looking to start with pairing beers and cheese, then go for the beer first, if that's your indulgence. And then look at the different types of cheese, but don't be afraid to try other things with it. Like maybe you might find a combination you like. That doesn't mean just because it's not written in a book or written on a website or some famous food guru said something, it doesn't mean that it's not right. I mean, just don't, I don't know. I don't want to make up a weird combination because, you know, you'll wind up getting like peanut butter and pickles and calling it an Elvis, and people will love it for years and years to come. Add a banana to that. So anyway,
Yeah,
but have fun.
Yep, and let me jump off on this too. A quick anecdote story. The last beer blogger conference that was in person was in Montana, and Julia Hers, who we gotta have on, Doug. I gotta bug her. We gotta have her on. She used to be the craft beer ambassador for the Brewers Guild, but she's since been they parted ways during the pandemic. Long story short, she did this wonderful beer and cheese pairing. And they ended up giving us an app that, Lauren, I'm going to send you this app, this cheese app. It has every cheese you would want to know on it. And then in there, it tells you what beer you can do too. With pairing. Fantastic. Long story short, it was this big room of, let's say 100 people. And Julia was leading us through a tasting. And the thing about it that was amazing was that, like, you would go through and people were like, well, does this work? And like, half of the room would say, yeah, I love it. And the other half would be like, eh. You know what I mean? And there were so few of them. There were really like one or two that most of the group was like, yes, this is a really good pairing. And even then, everybody didn't agree. So the point is that, like, it's definitely a personal thing. And you really have to try a lot of different things in order to find those ones that pop. Like some of them will be like, you'll have you drink a bit of beer, swirl around, have some cheese. You'll be like, oh, that's good. And then some of them you're like, well, damn. Like, it's just like, wow. Like, so when you almost have to maybe even try a few of them to even get to that wow moment.
And when it's there, it clicks. It's really, really delicious.
It's really, again, the first ones didn't connect, but once they do, you're just like, oh, that's what it means when they come together. Like,
yeah, there's a synergy. There's a way that they work together. Yeah. And you may have a beer a year ago and have the same beer, just sort of like what you had earlier today, Doug, right? With your third beer, I think it was, or second beer, where you had it a year ago, and the odor was different, but the flavor was still there, right? It may have paired well with something a year ago, but now things have changed a little bit. You know, food science, things change. Have fun with it. Just don't kill yourself.
Yeah. So, Lauren, if you're still listening, bug me about that app. I'll send it to you. It's a free app, and then it tells you all about the cheese. And cheese is I mean, we could sit here and talk another hour about cheese and about how that cheese is. It's crazy. I had no idea.
You can bring me back to talk about cheese and cheese science if you want. That's something I could add value to.
Yeah. All right.
Like my last food manufacturer that I worked for, I used to co-tandem and process cheese because really what I was looking for was the whey. They're the byproduct of the cheese making, because I worked for a protein manufacturing company. So yeah, I can talk a lot about cheese.
So that's where curds and whey comes from.
Yeah, curd is that's yes. When you separate the milk, right? And you get your solids and your liquid out of the milk, you're left with curd, which becomes your cheese, and your whey is your liquid. So, yeah. And whey is delicious. Liquid whey is delicious.
All right, Lauren. So you got that? Great. Yep. Wow. So then this is Jerry, of course. My friend Drew works with cheese, and he's in a Daddy Porter group, Daniel Fisher, and Lauren. So if you wanted to ask for cheese, you want to ask about cheese, ask in there, and then we'll tag Drew, and Drew will give you all the details. Drew is the tits. This is true.
If you're into those sort of things.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's down with the bag of dicks or not, but we can ask Drew. He's very open about it. I met him at Fresh Fest. He's an awesome guy. Daniel Fisher says he led a beer versus wine cheese tasting at work, inspired by salmon dogfish. Best pairing voted was Sierra Nevada Stout and a 3-year-old Gouda. This is coming from
Gouda is delicious.
And drinkers. Wow. Right. This is the way.
You don't even want to know all of the dairy puns that I will throw your way. I don't know who that is.
Your way.
Daniel.
I'm gonna throw it your way. Oh.
Case in point, I will throw so many, and none of you probably picked that up. Case in point, but anyway, that's a whole other issue.
Lauren has been fiercely making notes on her phone. So, Lauren, you're going to be ready for the when you come on the stream sometime this spring. I'm not sure when it is.
We have her and Maddie coming on at some point.
Yes. So, yeah. Oh,
Kurt is the word.
Oh, whatever.
Then we gotta. You guys are supposed to send me some salami, and I have to send you guys some squeaky curds.
Squeaky curd, squeaky cheese, squeaky. I tried the lemon on bologna. That's what we got to say. I got to send it 11.
Greg, I'm going to send you some of that because
we're horrible people. Though.
Sweet lemon and bologna is just
right. And I was supposed to send you the squeaky curds. We got to do that.
Yep.
Right. Squeaky cheese. Right. I mean, anyway.
I believe it's time to wrap. Listen, what people don't understand is people don't see. It's post production. So we do the show, and then we go to post production, and then usually when Jeffrey's on the show, Jeffrey hangs out. Don't get me wrong, but at some point Jeffrey's like, "Man, I gotta go. I got an early morning," and so Jeff has
we'll do that to you.
Toddlers. Yes, Jeff has toddler twins. So when they wake up, they wake up.
Yeah, but guess what? Not tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I'm off duty.
Oh. Ooh. Okay. Well, we can go.
I get to sleep in tomorrow, so I was like, if I knew I was going to be hanging out with y'all tonight, so I was like, okay. I was like, okay, you'll wake up with the kids in the morning.
That's funny too, because Doug and I are, our kids are older, so we're more into when the hell are you getting up, as opposed to, right. Am I wrong, Doug?
No, it's funny. All the kids are different, so some of them are they'll sleep till 1 p.m. and
right.
I'm looking at you. in general, I don't really care because teenagers' freaking clocks are way different. Your internal clock is all different. You're up late. You're sleeping in. That's how I was.
Well, and they need their sleep too, man. All kids need their sleep.
Mm-hmm. So especially when everything's freaking like a goddamn petri dish of fucking hormones. So you have to let them just kind of get their rest so they can actually deal.
Right. So, Jeffrey, do you want to talk about what you drank tonight? You're on mute, brother.
You're on mute.
You're on mute. Actually, can I take him off?
I don't know. Maybe.
I can't unmute.
I just disconnected from my browser. We had an interview.
There you go. You're back.
There we go. We hear you now.
I'm back. I totally am. I hate technology.
No, you
That's
don't.
literally what it comes down to. I'll have a drink to that. I hate technology. So we're in the middle of a storm right now. So I guess we had an internet glitch, which yeah, well, sleet right now. It's a sleet hailstorm coming on right now. It's definitely starting. But anyway, I missed the last 30 seconds while my AirPods were all glitchy. Out of spite.
No, you don't. Who is this?
That's got to be Manny.
No, they don't. Shut up.
That's Manny.
I can't wait to have that guy on the stream. I don't know what the hell's going to happen.
That's going to be a freaking wild goddamn show.
Wait. So you guys are supposed to get a snowstorm this week? Now? Is that what's going on? Doug,
yeah.
Are you getting the same?
Yeah.
Doug, are you getting the same shit he's getting?
We aren't up here, although when I went to drive down to pick up my kids at my ex-wife's house, they had signs being like winter weather advisory Saturday PM. So apparently tomorrow they're supposed to get stuff up in north Pennsylvania, up in the Scranton area. So
So it's not like 700 inches like you got 2 weeks ago.
Well, fucking 43 inches of snow we got in 24 hours was just absurd.
Right.
Yeah, it was a lot of snow that we just got dumped on us over the last 2 weeks. Not even a week and a half.
Did all that shit melt already, Doug?
No.
No, yeah. We actually had flooding issues up here because it melted too fast.
Shut the front door.
No, one of our friends who isn't on a floodplain had no flood insurance. It all melted. They had more snow than we. They had 50 inches of snow, and it melted so fast it flooded their basement. So they had to like fucking go and like have Pro come in and clean it up. Like they had to get a sump pump in there. It was an absolute
man.
Sorry to hear that.
Mother Nature is a bitch.
Yeah, well, she has a habit of kind of putting us in our place sometimes, right?
She's a bitch.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right, Jeffrey. We're gonna bring you back soon. How you doing?
I'll wait my turn.
Yeah, we'll have to have a G show apparently, so we'll have to schedule that out.
Just I'll give you all my old cheese chemistry notes so that everybody's ready to study. I used to teach all the food. I used to teach all the juniors coming in what they needed to know. So just
they're gonna be dealing with 1 degree Fahrenheit in Dallas.
It was negative at my house this morning, by the way.
This is my violin.
Yeah.
Right. Yo, yeah. Did you guys see that 100-car pileup though?
Yeah, there was. It was a crazy. It was a crazy pileup.
It was.
That's where our surrogate's family is from, the Fort Worth area.
Mm-hmm. I heard right before we got on the stream. I saw an article. It said nurse got out of that pileup and then went to work. Like, kind of like you know they say about a hockey player, like he gets knocked in the head and still finishes the game or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, nurse, she's not going to be deterred by that. But yeah, it was crazy. Jeff, Daniel Fisher says hi. Lauren says everybody stay safe out there.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
It was due to one of those stupid text press lanes.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
What the fuck is text press?
I'm guessing it's an express lane that you pay for to be able to drive faster.
Sounds like it. Okay. Right. Another great show, all because of the guests.
Yeah, fuck us. Thanks.
Well,
Thanks, JG.
Is he wrong though?
Thank
He's not
you.
wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I want to make that very clear.
But right. I'm with you though. Fuck you, JG, but you're not right. You're not wrong, but fuck you. Right. Cool. Cheers. No. Text press, yeah, that sounds like one of those express lanes. Yeah. They couldn't get out of the lane. Whew. Jeff, we'll see you in the spring, brother.
Yes, sir.
I look forward to it. May I have flowers on my nails?
It'll be time.
May you have flowers on your nails? Can we see those nails before you go?
Of course you can. Which ones? I have different ones. So this is the one that has the. There we go. And it glows in the dark too.
That's not a bag of dicks, right? That's just one.
No, it's just one big cock.
Okay.
You know.
One big cock.
That's it. I just wanted one big cock. That's it.
All right.
Right? Anyway. And on that note, I got one dick in my pocket. No, I can put off the Atlantis Force.
Oh, man.
We will formally schedule and see you soon. Thank you,
Talk
sir.
to you guys soon.
Being on, my friend.
Awesome. We love our Jeffries.
Yeah.
Amazing. I learn a lot from when he's on, man. More than when me and you were on.
Yeah. We were like, hey, how's it going, dude? And he's like dropping all this fucking knowledge. We're like, okay, I don't know very much.
Who is this cocknails?
That was Jerry. Cocknails for the week.
Jerry. You've been on my sphere, man. I'm gonna hit you up soon. You gotta get back. We gotta get talking. Book you for June or something. I love Jerry's podcast. It's fucking great. Oh, look at that! It's also called a manicure.
All right, man. So give us a little review of what you had. Tell us what you like.
First.
Oh, me first?
You first. I don't know what the hell I'm doing over here.
All right. So I'm going to start. Again, none of these were bad. I'm going to say that up front. The porter was a very good, solid porter. Nothing like marvelous, but really good. Just, good. Second place was the Rick's an okay guy. I just liked how crisp that was. I'm generally not, but this was a pale ale, not an IPA. But like this was really good. Like I said earlier, I think this would be excellent if it's hot out. So I really like that. And the Blackbeard's Breakfast, the cellared for nearly a year version was.
Yes. I missed this.
Yeah, that's the one that I picked up with you.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you, at Fresh, the coffee was way more prominent on the nose, and it was good. It was a good blend, like of flavors when it was fresh. But that whole aging process of a year just kind of mellowed both the bourbon barrel flavor and the coffee down just a smidge, and the porter flavor came forward a little more. That was just really, really good.
Yeah, that didn't last long in this house.
I have to, as soon as I get something that I know, I'm like, all right, I'm putting that one in the cellar fridge, and then I'll just pretend that I don't see it.
Don't see it, right. We enjoyed that one though at the pub there, even when it was like a sort of coffee.
Yeah.
So,
did you see there was a little string of people talking about Heavy Seas there, and they're trying to organize a trip there now, apparently.
Yes, it should be.
Go, because that was. I love that experience there. I like the Guinness Brewery experience, but I thought the Heavy Seas was much cooler.
One on one, man. You're doing both, but you definitely make sure you give yourself enough time at Heavy Seas as much as you would at Guinness.
Yeah.
Give yourself equal time, if not more, at Heavy Seas, in my opinion.
Yeah, because it's a smaller venue. You get a little bit more personal interaction with folks. You can learn a little more about the beer. Whereas at Guinness, it's just this giant complex. And yeah, it's some really cool, interesting experimental shit they do. And their food is awesome. But
Right. So go to Heavy Seas first. You drink all the beers. You try them all.
Yep.
Then you go to Guinness, have lunch, and have like a couple. Because again, some of those Guinness beers, the barrel aged ones, you don't even want to be fucking with if you're trying to leave. So like, it's just it's a perfect thing if you do them both. Go to Heavy Seas, have some beers, get your ass over to Guinness, sit outside. We didn't even sit outside. It wasn't even.
It was outside. February. It was a little cold.
Right. Sit outside, get some food. It's just I don't know. Use them in tandem. Don't be one or the other. Plan to go to both of them and have a good time. Like. And then I don't know. Then if you want to argue about which one's better or not, that's cool. But to me, they're almost like a tandem. You almost have to do them together.
And they're so close together that I think that's right, because it's like you're getting two completely different experiences.
Yep.
So maybe if you prefer having the bigger brewery experience, then maybe the Guinness thing is more for you. But for me, I just really, really enjoyed our time at Heavy Seas. I really thought that was a really nifty.
Right. I don't live near there. So if you don't live near there, you got to do them both. Like, you know what I mean? It's almost like you can't just go to Heavy Seas and be like, I'm not going to go to Guinness. Or the other way around. You can't just say, I'm going to go to Guinness and I go to Heavy Seas. Like, you almost have to do them both and plan on it. So that's just my thing. I'm going to go to, so Rick is an okay. First one was Hopalicious. My mainstay. Notice this is my mainstay, man, in the pandemic is an IPA, not a porter, just so you know. It's a pale ale, actually. And by mainstay meaning I can just grab it, just drink it. I don't have to think about it. It's just simple. I know I like it. It's just great. I love it. Rick's an okay guy. Pretty damn good for a place that doesn't act like they care about pale ales or hoppy ales. At least it didn't when I was there. And that's fine. I don't care. Listen, there's 100 fucking styles. You can't act like you care about them all. So That's just the way that goes. Now, the second one actually is Giant Jones's triple. I don't know. Okay. Bottom on 221.21. I remember this being better than what I thought this was. Fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Still a great beer. I thought it was a little bit snappy the first time. Maybe it's because I'm drinking all of this shit. I'm still gonna finish it. It's fantastic brew. But I kind of had it on some different. I have all kinds of different things here. Again, still great beer. Wonderful. But I don't know this one. Yeah. Pretty much took the cake. I like Daniel Fisher's explanation, which was like it's like a what did he say? It's like a black
a Berlin.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole wheat wine black thing threw me off, and then it's big roast, man. It was really big roast. I was like, boom, and I guess it's the hazelnut, but whatever. It was fantastic. It was unique. And thanks for sending it to me. It's great.
Yeah, that's a smaller brewery in upstate New York that they make some pretty decent beer. I don't get a whole lot of their stuff here. That was just something that was such an outlier. Like I was like, ooh, wheat wine, and I tasted it. I'm like, well, it doesn't taste like any wheat wine I've ever had, but I've only had 3 wheat wines, and they all tasted utterly different from each other. You know, I had that one with you at the farmhouse brewery near my house. Then you gave me the Giant Jones one. That was way different. And then that one that I sent you they're all just so different. I agree with you. That is like kind of the hazelnut and the orange blossom honey just like really did interesting things to that beer that it was really unique.
Really good. Thank you, Doug. So, JC, Heavy Seas is right down the road from Guinness, and that's why we're saying,
yep,
you got to do both. Like not gotta, but again, unless you're close and you can do them both, they're 1 and 2. So, cheers on that. Back to Jeffrey's nails before we set up here. LOL girth rules. So next week we have Ariana Bradford, right?
Bradford, yep.
Yes. Rock star out of Oregon, right?
Well, they just moved to Florida.
Oh, okay. And that's why I was like, what? Right. So she's in Florida now. So this is so she moved. It's done.
Yeah, they moved, yep.
Oh, great. So we'll get a moving story and all kinds of other stuff from that. So that'll be good.
That'll be interesting just from the fact of moving across country in the middle of a pandemic. That had to be fucking crazy.
Right. And this is after the heroin.
When you have her on, there will be a gazillion funny fucking things that come out. So it'll be great.
Right. I don't even know if we jumped into like the heroin experience of her, the fire and her evacuating and all that. I don't even think we got
it. We touched on it, but it wasn't like a predominant thing. But that was pretty nuts.
So JC leaves us with hsbeer.com. Heavy Seas. Cheers, Jay. Thank you. Doug, we'll see you next week. Have a good week, buddy.